And she found out the similar situation.
Okay.
So then she decided she is the cause for all of this, so she should give up the Ayodhya.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then she convinced Lord Ram by her tarka that Raj Dharma coming in dynasty is the supreme dharma, everything else will be given up just to establish the Raj Dharma. So finally, Lord Ram agrees with her.
I think
And then,
the people who made the film, they must have been scared of women.
whatever it is, but they presented very good arguments back and forth.
Yes, Valmiki was more bold. See, that's how there is not only one Ramayana, there are 100 Ramayans.
That's right. Yeah.
Valmiki is the original one, but later on, as situation changed, people also changed Ramayana. Because what is the point of repeating Valmiki when people don't like it? If Ramchandra was ready to give up his wife to please people, why can't we change Ramayana to please people? What is the argument against it? Right? Right? Lord Ramchandra gave Sita just to please people. So now people are pleased by changing Ramayana. Okay, go ahead, do it. That's why he's called Rama. He's Lokaranjanath Rama. So there are many Ramayana. There is one Ramayana in which it is described that it is not Rama who killed Ravana. It was Sita who killed him. It was not possible to kill Ravana by Rama. And there is another one, it says there was a Ravana and then there was a Mahi Ravana or Maharavana. So after Ravana was killed by Rama, then Maharavana attacked. And Rama could not kill him, so then Sita has to go and kill him. So there are many grades of Ramayana, 100 Ramayana.
How does she do that? How does she do that? How does she kill him? Weapon?
Fighting is like Durga is, because she is the Shakti. So if you go to Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, all these countries, they also have Ramayana, but it is different. Then Jains have Ramayana also. That is different. So that's, I never heard that one, but because I have not seen this movie on Ram. It's good to know that Sita also had her spies. Okay, anything else before we start? So Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiv Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, chapter number 14. So this is continuation of description of the kings. So we heard the Sun dynasty coming from Ikshvaku, and then now he is going to speak about the Moon dynasty. Okay, that is also interesting. So after Rama comes Krishna, after Sun comes Moon. So we have Ramachandra, and the moon of Rama, and then we have Krishna Chandra. So Sri Shuka Uvacha, Sri Shukadeva said, so he is continuing to explain. Athataha shruyatam rajan vanshah somasya pavanah yasmin nailadayo bhupaha kirtyante punya kirtayah Sri Shukdev said, O king, now hear from me the pure dynasty coming from moon. Yasmin Ailadayo Bhupaha Kirtante Punya Kirte, in which the great kings like Aila have been praised and they have a pious fame. So this is description of moon, how the kings came from moon. In the moon you see, and there was also a person moon who was walking here somewhere. There are 3 descriptions of moon. One is in the Vedas, famous Chandrama Manaso Jata, right? In the Purush Sukta, that Chandrama was born from the mind of the Supreme Person. So Chandrama, or the moon, is supposed to be the deity or presiding deva of the mind. So it's very important. And then there is one story of moon which will come here, that he was born from Atri Rishi. It was already mentioned earlier that Atri's wife Ansuya gave birth to 3 children. There was Dattatreya, who is part of Vishnu. There is Durvasa, who is from Shiva. And then there is moon, who is from Brahma. And then there is other story that also we have read, that moon was born from the ocean and churning of the ocean was done. So he is brother of Lakshmi Devi. In India, moon is called Mama, right? Chanda Mama, right? Chanda Mama, Chanda Mama. Chanda Mama दूर के दही बड़े क्या है? दही बड़े पूर के क्या है? Children we used to sing like that. So in India, Chanda, the moon is considered as Mama. Mama in Hindi means maternal uncle, mother's brother. Why? Why is he called Mama? Because he is brother of Lakshmi ji, who is mother. She is the mother of the universe, so he is the brother of mother. So therefore he is everybody's Mama. In my Guru's ashram there was one devotee, came from Bengal, but before he came, there was another devotee who was there in the ashram. And then he came later on, and he was the Mama of the first one. So everybody used to call him Mama, including Maharaj. His name is Braj Sundar, still there, but he is known as Mama. So sometimes some names become popular. So Chanda is the Mama, just remember that. He is brother of Lakshmi. So he is born from ocean, and then he is born from Atri, and he is born from mind. He is the mind born. Manasa, Manasam, Manasija. So therefore he has a very important role to play, because he is related with mind, or he is the deity of the mind. Mind is a problematic part in the body, right? So you will see he will also create problem. Similar problem which the mind for us creates, nothing much different. Because people will ask question, how moon can do this? Right? Just how your mind can do this. So what is happening at the cosmic level is also happening at the individual level, same thing. This is depicted, all these descriptions which you see is description of the human mind. The stories are for us, but they are told in the form of stories so that we can hear and analyze, and maybe one day we think that it's related to me. Okay, so therefore he says Athatah Shruyatam Rajan Vansha Somasya Pavana. So Soma is very important word also in the Vedas, Somarasa. It's supposed to be good for the mind also. It's a tonic, if you take it. Makes your mind very happy. And it came somewhere, where does it come in Krishna Sandarbha? That Soma, Jiva Goswami gives another meaning of Soma. Soma means Shiva. Because Soma can also become Sa plus Uma. Right? Uma is name of Shiva's wife. So it will become Soma, and then you have to make masculine Shiva, so you have to drop the long A and make it Soma. So Soma also means Shiva. And therefore Shiva also has moon on his head, you have seen? So now you know why. So these are very interesting things. So Jiva Goswami, Sri Vishnu Chakravarti says, Tarayaha Swaguru Patnyam Induna Janitad Budhat Jata Elah Sadurvashyam Putran Prapa Chaturdashe. So this sloka is a little bit problem. Shall we translate it or wait for it? So moon, he did something funny. I was already telling this is what mind does. So he produced a child in the wife of his own guru, Tara. So Tarayam Swaguroho Patnyam Induna Janita Budhat. And Buddha, so moon sun is Buddha. Buddha is Mercury, right? So Mercury is Buddha, moon is Soma. The week starts from Soma, Somavara. In Sanskrit it is called the day of moon, Monday. It's also actually from moon day it became Monday. Somehow they dropped one O. But actually it is moon day, just like before that it is Sunday. So in Sanskrit it is called Ravivar. Ravi means sun. We got one Ravi here. So Ravivar, then moon became Monday. How it came Tuesday, I don't know, but that is Mars. That is Mangal. So they must have some relation. So at least these two we can relate with Sanskrit somewhat. So he created a son whose name is Buddha, which also means intelligent. And from him the son Aila was born, who became the propagator of the moon dynasty. And he had 6 sons from Urvashi. So it is not that now only something new is happening. You hear all these stories of relations here and there. They are going on before also. There is nothing new in this world. People think that they are going to do something new, something. It's already described here. Whatever is happening, that's why Vyasa says in Mahabharata that whatever is here is outside, what is not here is nowhere. It's a fact. You just feel proud, I did something new. It's nothing new. It may have a new name, but it's there. It has been done. Because bhutva praliyate, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, it's a repetition. It happens, then it becomes dissolved, then happens, then it becomes dissolved. It's not the first time that invention has been done and nuclear weapons have been created and computer and iPad. All these things have been already done. So some people already have this in their chitta who are born now, and then from their chitta it comes out. So they say, oh, he did research, he gets Nobel Prize. But chitta already has all this what you call intuition. It's there. It's going on because Atma doesn't have a beginning. So it has so much storage. So many inventions which are happening. That's why it is called research. You just search. You're just searching it again, it's already there. Right? So these words have some truth behind them. Why research? So it's already there. So people think he got it from God or he got it from there. It's nothing. The chitta has got a lot of things. So some people, because of their past karma, they get it. It's like we are reading that this Maru and Devapi, they are staying there in Kalap Grama, they will come down, they will start the dynasty. So they will have their chitta from that time also. And they have the samskaras. So those samskaras will become manifest. That's how they are going to propagate dharma again. Otherwise, from where will they have the knowledge? So like that, some people are born in Kali Yuga now who have that knowledge from some past Kali Yuga, where such inventions were done. So now it manifests to them. Then they become famous, make money, die, go. So there is nothing more than this on this sloka. So Sahasrashirsha Punsho Nabhi Hrida Saroruhat Jatasya Asit Suto Dhatur Atri Pitri Samo Gunaihi. So from Sahasrashirsha, who is Sahasrashirsha? Who is he? Who is he? He is Vishnu. Thank you. So he is Vishnu. Sahasrashirsha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. Right? So he is the Vishnu. So Jagrihe Paurusam Rupam Bhagavan Mahedadibhi in the second chapter of Bhagavatam. So this is the Paurush Rupa, from where the avataras are coming. Sambhuta Sodas Kalamadam. So he is the thousand-head Vishnu, and Nabhi Hrad Saroruhat Jatasya Asit. So from him came out Brahma, from his lotus navel this flower came, on this lotus stem and lotus flower, then Brahma was born, and from Brahma came Atri. So Jatasya Asit Suto Dhatu. Dhatu is Brahma, Dhatri. Dhatri is also name of Vishnu. Dhatri is also name of Brahma. Atri, what does Atri mean? Means who is not three. Three means three, right? And Atri means not three, means who is free from the three gunas. So he is a great sage. That's why he had three sons. He is not three, but he got three. Right? From Atri came three. So Atri and Pitri Samogune. He says he had qualities just like his father, Brahma. And then Tasya Drigbhyo Bhavat Putra Somo Amritmaya Kila. So from his eyes came a son whose name is Soma. So from Atri's eyes was born Soma, and he is a Vipra, Viprasthi Udugananam Brahmana Kalpita Pati. So this Soma was very beautiful, number one. That's why whenever he called someone beauty, he says, oh, he has a face like a moon. Right? Right? So I don't know whether they're talking about this moon or some moon, but he has a face like moon, right? At least in Sanskrit they're also saying Chandramukhi, Chandramukha, right? So he was very, very beautiful. That was his first quality. Because he came from the eyes, and they say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And he's coming from the eyes, so he must have beauty, because beauty is in the eye. Right? So therefore he was very beautiful. And then he did a lot of tapasya. After he was born, he went and he did very severe tapasya, austerity. So much that Brahma was pleased. And he's Brahma's grandson. So he was very happy. So what he did, that he made him the chief of Vipras, okay, Brahmanas, Ausadhi, all this fauna, flora, plants, trees. So moon is also in charge of them. And also Tara Gana, all these stars which you see in the sky. He is the chief of them. If you go and you see, then he is the chief among the Taras. So he became the chief of them, Brahmana Kalpita Pati. So he was given this position by Brahma himself. So moon therefore is also called Dvijaraj, the chief of the Dvijas. So he has a very powerful position. So he is powerful, he is beautiful, he is intelligent, and he has got this position. All the sweetness in the fruits and the taste in vegetables, it comes because of the moon. If moon rays do not fall on them, then you get all these vegetables, fruits, not much taste. So moon is important for that. But now the problem happens that when he had all these things, he did a yajna. Soyajat Rajasuyene Vijitya Bhunatrayam. So he said, I am in this position, I should do a Rajasuya Yajna. So Rajasuya Yajna is done by great emperors to install their authority over other kings. So there are kings, and then above the king there is emperor. So for that they do Rajasuya. So Rajyakamo Rajasuyena Yajeta. This is in the Vedas statement that you do Rajasuya Yajna. It is a very elaborate yajna, takes a lot of effort, money, expertise, so many brahmanas are needed. So generally when you do Rajasuya Yajna, then you send that horse which goes around, you have to conquer everybody around at least. And then they all come and participate in the Rajasuya. But Soma did Rajasuya Yajna by conquering all the three bhuvanas. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa. The lower planets, middle ones, and the Swargas. So he conquered all that. And then he did. So therefore it is said that Vijitya Bhunatrayam, after conquering. Because you cannot do that if you have not conquered that. So that means he is also a good fighter. Right? So not only that he is Dvijaraj, he is the chief of the Brahmanas, he is the king of the Brahmanas, he looks like he is also king of the kings. So he has both Shastra and Shastra. So now with that comes pride. If you are physically strong and you are also intelligent, scholarly, you are learned, and if you are not devotee, then comes ahankara. So this is one of the main themes we have seen, this ahankara problem. Because this is a very prevalent problem. You see it all around you, yourself, around also, inside also. Right? So there is no place you don't see it. So imagine somebody like Soma, just try to think how powerful he must be. That Brahma himself installed him the chief of the Brahmanas, chief of vegetables, fruits, trees, and chief of all these stars, which may be also suns according to modern science, right? So he became boss of all that. So now he must be very proud because of that, because people are praising him. And if you keep on hearing praise all the time, then it can go inside your head, especially if you are looking for it. So then he did something which nobody ever did before or afterwards. So what he did, Patnim Brihaspater Darpat Taram Nama Harad Balat. So Darpat means out of arrogance. He took away the wife of Brihaspati, who is the guru of the Devas. He forcibly took away, just like Ravana. Ravana also had these two qualities. He was powerful in Shastra and Shastra, both. He also did very severe austerities, and he also had knowledge of Shastra. Say that he was a scholar of the Vedas, and he was also a big fighter. So then when you have these two things together and you are not devoted to Vishnu, then what do? Then your mind goes for material pleasure. So, and especially moon, he has a mind, his mind himself is born from mind. So there are two things which are born from mind. One is moon, other is Cupid. Right? Cupid is called also Manoj or Mansija. Right? You heard this word Manoj? Manoj means born from mind. Mansija. So now we have moon and we have Cupid. So these two things together, what is he going to do? So when Cupid enters into the mind, then Shastra becomes prominent and Shastra goes down. The Shastric knowledge doesn't work. And, right? So then you cannot think properly, you forget. Kamat krodho vijayate, krodhat bhavati sammoha. So when kama takes over in the mind, then people do unintelligent things. No matter if you are moon. And if you are powerful, then you do more criminal things than normal person. Because normal person may have fear that I will be punished. But if you have power, then you don't have fear also. You think you are supreme. So this is what happened to moon god. That when he was doing this yajna, Rajasuya yajna, so what happens in Rajasuya yajna? So many people come. The kings come, the sages come, their wives also come. So all these ladies, they were seeing moon and they were saying, wow, he's so beautiful. And he heard it so many times. So sometimes you may not think you are beautiful, but everybody keeps on telling you, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. And then you start thinking, oh really, I'm beautiful. So there are many people who don't think beautiful, that they're beautiful, but they may be beautiful. It's also other way around. So moon, he thought that he's actually beautiful, he's powerful, so why he cannot have? So he saw Tara, Brihaspati's wife, who also came, and she was very beautiful. So somehow his mind got fixed. So now what happens that people who are strong in mind, when their mind becomes fixed on something, that also becomes strongly fixed. If it becomes fixed on a wrong thing, then it also becomes wrongly and strongly fixed. So moon, he has already done so much tapasya before, which means he was able to control his mind and focus. But now his mind got focused on Tara, and Tara means, you know the word in English called star? If you drop S, what happens? It's Tara. So the word star comes from Tara. Tara actually means star. So if your mind is attracted by a star, and you are thinking yourself also as a star, so then it is more problem. So he did not think that what I am doing. So there are, if you read Manusmriti, there are 3 types of sins described there. There are Mahapatakas, there are Patakas and Upapatakas, 3 categories of sins. So big sins, medium sins and normal sins. So there are 5 Mahapatakas, and one of the Mahapataka is called Guru Talpaga. So Guru Talpaga means to have relation with Guru's wife. Because in the olden days, Gurus were generally married. The sages, they all had wives. That's why children used to go and stay in the Gurukula. Guru was there, his family was there, then they will study. This was family. So this is considered as a highly sinful act, completely forbidden. And now moon is doing it. So this became a very big problem. So he approached Tara, and Tara said, what is this proposal? You are student of my husband. So he says, that doesn't matter. Because when mind becomes full of lust, then it forgets all rules and regulations. Right? So the Deva pashyati no luka, kako naktam na pashyati, apurvo kopi kamandho, deva naktam na pashyati. Right? Owl does not see in the daytime, and crow does not see at night. But there is one very special person who does not see in day or in night. And that person is called Kamandha, one who is blinded by lust. So lust is the most covering, most powerful thing which covers a person's intelligence. There is nothing more powerful than lust. This, which completely bewilders a person. That person cannot think anymore what is right, what is wrong. He does not think what will happen after this act. That's why you see people engage in some act of rape, and they know, it is not that they don't know that this is wrong and I will be punished for this. Sometimes they get, prison for whole life just for this, for a little pleasure. Why it happens? Because The lust completely makes a person blind. So buddhi nashat pranashyati. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that you lose your buddhi, your intelligence, and then you are lost completely, destroyed. It brings destruction. There is nothing good which comes out of it. That is what is being shown here. That such a powerful person, honorable person, respected by everybody, obviously all these Brahmanas must have respected him because Brahma has installed him as the chief. Same thing with Daksha. Daksha was also installed as Prajapati by Brahma. He was the chief of the Prajapatis. He was given that post, not an ordinary thing. But he became also proud by that. So here he is so proud, therefore it is called Darpa. So you know this Darpana? Darpana, Darpa, they have the same root. Darpana means mirror, because you stand in front of the mirror and you feel proud. How beautiful I am. Right? It's compulsory to see the mirror. Cannot pass one day without seeing it. So this is the Darpa. So because of Darpa, he did not see what is right and what is wrong. And therefore he kidnapped, forcibly he took away Tara. Says here, Balat, forcibly. Aharat, like Ravana. So Ravana also did that, took away Sita by force. It was not that Sita was willing to go with him. He just kidnapped by force. So this brought a big chaos in the whole godly society. There was talk, breaking news. Everybody was sitting in front of TV and watching this. And then there was expert opinions. Why did he do that? What do you say about it? Right? Some big conferences happened. Everybody was taking opinion of Atri. Your son did this. What do you say? Says, I keep distance from him. Yeah, what Atri will say? If somebody goes and tells him this, what is he going to think? He must have felt proud before of his son, but now after this, what can be said? So these stories are very important for us to learn these lessons, because the stories teach us two things. One is what should be done and also what should not be done. That is also shown. That if such powerful people can fall into this kind of trouble, but to speak of ordinary people who do not have such power and such control. Obviously he is not an ordinary person. There is a whole dynasty coming from him. Even Krishna appeared in his dynasty. So maybe he is doing something like him. Krishna was also doing. That's what commentators said, right? When we were reading Raslila, they said, well, he's remembering moon. So this is our founder. I'm not so bad. These are not wives of my guru. They're only from my village. So Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Drigbhya Ananda Shrubhya Ateva Amritmaya Drisha iti cha patha. So he explains this word that he was born from the eyes. So he says that born from eyes means he was born from the tears of joy. And therefore he gives joy to people, right? When moon comes out, people feel happy. because he was born from that. And therefore he is called Amritmaya, or full of nectar. So Amritmaya Drisha iti cha pata. So in some readings there is a different part, Amritmaya Drishaya Bhavat, instead of Tasya Drigbha Bhavat. Iti cha patha atre patnya suya trin jagye suyasha sutan somam durvashram dattam atmeshe brahma sambhavam iti chaturtokte. So in the fourth canto it was mentioned that the wife of Atri, Ansuya, she gave birth to 3 famous sons. All 3 are famous. So there is Moon, then Durvasa, everybody knows him, he's very famous, and then the Dattatreya. And they are born from the Atma, Isha, Brahma, Sambhavan. So they are supposed to be born from the potency of Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva. Sa punastam swagarbhe dadhara iti kechit sanga kale ananda shruni api tasyam adhatte iti anne patyuhu putratvena tasya eva suta iti apare. So he says, different people have explained in different ways. He says that some say that these tears of joy came, and then his wife, she took them into her womb, and kechit sankale anasruni pitasyam adhatte. And some say that it is when they are uniting, then the joy came and they went into the womb. And some say that it is born from him only, from the husband, but became known as son of wife also. Sutatvena tasya suta iti apare. So different explanations have been given why he is, if he is born from the tears, why he is called son of Ansuya also. So then when this happened, and when Brihaspati came to know, then naturally he is not happy with that. Somebody takes away the wife, the husband obviously is not going to feel so happy. So yada sa deva guruna yachito abhikshnaso madat natyajat tatkrite jagge suradana vigraha. So Brihaspati went to him humbly and says, please return my wife back. So he refused. So in Sanskrit there is saying that if a book, a pen and a wife is given to someone, it never returns the same. Don't remember the sloka, but there's a sloka like that. So the sloka therefore says that think twice before you want to give this to someone. Well, I have experience with book. It doesn't come back. Sometimes it doesn't come back. Previously my almiras, they were not locked here, They were open, so I lost many books like that. Then I put them in lock. Because people take book, and I used to give, because I like reading book myself. So somebody asked for a book, I gave, I said, oh, he's interested. And then it never came back. And I gave many books like this. Then I realized that people don't give books back. Then I saw this sloka. So this sloka was very consoling, because I realized Because I realized there must be other people who have had similar problem, and in fact bigger problem. Yes. So he refused that it is not possible, and obviously that is because of his madat it is said. So this is power is also a type of intoxicant. People think that no intoxication means that you don't drink, you don't smoke and all this, but there is a bigger intoxicant, and that is wealth, right? Story of Kuber, Nalkubar and Manigriva in Bhagavatam. So there also the same word, Durmadandhasya, Daridram Paramanjanam. So they are also called Madandha, blinded by the intoxicant of wealth. So power and wealth, they are bigger intoxicants than liquor, because the effect of liquor lasts only for a few hours. Then you are sober. But the effect of wealth and power, it doesn't come out unless you lose it. Because your liver somehow takes out the intoxicant, the liquor from your blood, but there is no process to take out the intoxicant of wealth. So there is no system inside to clean it. There is only one, just like liver is cleaning the blood, it is buddhi only which can clean, but then buddhi itself becomes overpowered by it. It's like if you drink too much, the liver can become dysfunctional. So that's what happens. So he says, Madat Abhikshanasa. So it's not that he begged him once, he begged time and again. Abhikshana means regularly he went to him. Says, come on, now you had 1 week. Now you can send her back. And he says, no. So then he had no choice but to fight. So it is interesting that sometimes we see that the sages, they curse for a small thing. Right? So we saw earlier that Vasishtha came and he cursed Nimi, and Nimi cursed him back. And Brihaspati is not doing anything like that. So there must be some reason for that, why he is not cursing him. And why is that Soma is not afraid of curse? Either he has some vaccine, he is immune to the curse, that he will not be affected by it. Or Brihaspati is thinking, he is probably being respectful that he is son of, after all, Brihaspati is son of Angira and he is son of Atri. And Atri and Angira are brothers, both son of Brahma. So he is probably having some respect for his uncle, and therefore not doing anything like that. But after some time, what can be done? So what he did, he went to Indra. So Indra is the chief of the Devas. Although moon is also Deva and he is powerful, but he is ultimately under Indra. And he said, look, this is what has happened. So Indra, what did Indra feel? What do you think Indra felt when Brihaspati came to him?
Proud.
Why?
Because he comes to him, so it's also it's pumping up the ego that if you get asked to solve a difficult problem.
And the Guru is coming.
Guru is coming for help.
Oh yeah, his own will.
Right? Any other?
Maybe he also, maybe he felt a little bit ashamed also because he did the same thing.
Okay, ashamed.
Same style.
What is that?
Indra has the same style.
Same, yeah. So, I think, maybe you are right, I am wrong, but I think that he felt so happy that yes, because he must have been jealous of Soma. He says, yes, now I got a chance to attack this fellow. Because you must know that this jealousy is very important characteristic of human mind. And he must be thinking that I am the Devendra, I am the chief of all devas, and here this Soma, who is one of the devas under me, he is getting all this prominence. So he must have this jealousy inside, but what can he do? It is Brahma who is making him the chief. He is thinking, why not me? Why this fellow? So he was immediately fired up to fight. He said, okay, get ready, my guru has come, I have to help him. Of course, he is not going to say that I want to teach him a lesson now. I was just looking for an opportunity how to pull down this, because this is what Matsarya is. The jealousy is this. You have this feeling somebody is making more progress than you, then you burn in your heart. You cannot express it because it doesn't look good. Right? What others will say, oh Indra, you are being jealous. No, he doesn't want to be known like that. He wants to be known as a nice, peaceful person. But inside he must be feeling this. So as soon as Brihaspati came to him, he was so happy. And he called all his army. He says, call everybody, call Varuna, Kubera, all these Dikpalas, Yamaraj, let's get ready and we have to fight. So he's part of his own thing. He should have said, no, let me go and talk to him. Right? Isn't it? After all, he is not an Asura. Soma is not part of Asura group. He is part of the Deva group which belongs to his side. Many times he would have fought from his side against Asuras. So he should have said, well, let me go and talk to him. Maybe he will listen to me. And I can cajole him. I can tell him, look, I also have these problems, but I don't go to that extreme. This doesn't look good. It's bringing a bad name to us. So, he immediately got ready. And then, when Devas got ready to fight with Soma, then Shukracharya heard the news. Otherwise, why it is said here that Sura Danava Vigraha? Why Danavas are coming? Why the Asuras are coming to fight? So now Shukracharya said, well, the Devas are fighting with Soma, I must go to him. So he came running to Soma. He says, you need help? He says, yes. He says, don't worry, don't give up. If Brihaspati comes to ask for it, no, forget it. He says, there is a saying in Sanskrit, Vir Bhogya Vasundhara. Right? It says, one who has power enjoys. You are a great king and you deserve it. What is this Brihaspati? He is nobody. He says, I will get all the Asuras behind you and fight. So, Soma, otherwise if all these Devas are coming to fight and he is alone, what is he going to do? He will give up. But no, he got a big support. You see, this is what happens at the world level. Two small countries are fighting, then two another big countries come. Right? Russia comes from one side, America comes from another side. Now they have nothing to do. Have you heard of this country, Laos?
Yes.
It's a very small country, but it is the most bombed country in the history of the world. America dropped 275 million bombs there. The poor country, which has nothing to do with anybody, when Vietnam War was going on, it is because many times these Vietnamese, they will run and take shelter in Laos. So America bombed it. You can actually go and see the houses of these people. The country is very beautiful, but completely destroyed by the bombs, and there are bombs everywhere. So because another big powers coming. So China and Russia coming from other side and America coming from this side, and they're fighting. This is exactly the same thing. So the Devas are coming from one side, Brihaspati camp, and then Shukracharya camp comes from other side, and they're fighting. So same history repeats. This is the story of the Puranas. So the word Purana means which is old but new. Purapi Nava iti Purana. So that's why I said that there is nothing new. It is, as they say, it's an old wine in new package. It may be done in a different way, but it's the same thing. Comes again and again, same. Because human mind is same. Same problem, same kam, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. That is the game. Avidya, asmita, ragadves, abhinives. Same things. Whether now or 10,000 years before or before that, it doesn't matter whether they came from monkeys or apes, it does not make any difference. Problems are same. So this is what you see at the world level all the time. War in Syria, same thing, right? War is going on in Syria, but the truce pact is being made between US and Russia. It's very interesting. They both have nothing to do with it, but they're making a truce pact because they both are coming there. So everywhere you can see. World War I, same thing happened. World War II, same thing happened. And now at smaller level, it is not World War, but you can see that it is a sort of World War because some people are not coming openly, but they are supporting. So this is the Sura-Danava Vigraha. This is the battle of Suras and Danavas. And don't think that Danavas are all bad guys and Suras are all good guys. That is another thing. We think that Devas, Sura means divine people and Danavas means demoniac people. You translate it and then it's nothing. Danava means the sons of Danu. Right? They're born, and Daitya means sons of Diti. The father is same, Kashyapa, but born from different wives. They're actually all brothers. They are all part of, just like all these countries, part of the same earth. Same mother earth. So they are all coming from Kashyapa, but born in different parts of the land, of this earth. So they are fighting, they make groups. And Asuras are not always bad people and Danavas are not good. You see what Indra is doing, what Moon is doing, and many other people are doing like that. So then you also have Prahlad, Bali. They are also Asuras. It's not only Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, there is also Vibhishana. So same you will see happening. It is also there are countries who have good color qualities, then also they have something behind it. And there are so-called demoniac countries which you call, oh, this country is bad. They also have some good thing behind it. Some one part may be bad, another good. So this is the Sura-Danava Vigraha which goes on, and the same thing happens in the human mind. So from cosmic to the individual level, same thing is happening. So we'll stop here if there is any question. Yes.
You mentioned that Soma is the presiding deity of the mind. And,
Yes.
I just remember, or as far as I've understood from Jyotish, is that the sun then is the representation of the ego. So is also similarly Surya some presiding deity of the Ahankara?
Not according to Sankhya. Ahankara is Shiva. Buddhi is Brahma. Chitta is Vishnu. Sun doesn't come there.
But I'm confused because when we studied Paramatma Sandhava, then we had these Chaturvyuhas and...
So those are worshipable deities.
Okay. That was mixing.
So there are worshipable deities and then there are presiding deities.
And sun stands also for the, I just want to mention, in Jyotish it's not only it's the Atma, it's on all levels, it's also the body. So it can be the same. Not necessarily the Ahankara.
Okay, anything else?
Yes, Balaji.
Yes.
My question is, let's imagine that Indra wasn't jealous of Soma and he would have gone and talked to him. Do you think Soma would have given back the wife? So does it mean that we can fight against lust by wisdom and by dialogue, or?
Well, better not to fight with lust. So I don't think Indra was going to fight with him, but try to explain to him. So that is the job of intelligence. So later on you will see that ultimately it is Brahma who would come and intervene. So Brahma is Buddhi. So fighting, how you will fight with lust?
Baba, for a bhakta, what is the how does one use wealth and power properly?
You tell me.
Wealth I can understand in the service of Krishna, but power is a little bit more vague. How do you use power in the service of Krishna?
So first tell me what power you have, because power is just a vague word. Wealth is, at least we know, wealth means money. But power is so many different types of power. So
Maybe power to...
So power generally we mean political power.
Yeah.
So then you can exercise that power, just like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, then there were certain kings, like you know the story of Jiva Goswami sending the books in bullock carts to Bengal, and these books were stolen, right, by the king, that Vishnupur, that is the place? Birhambir, Vishnupur. So later on this Virhambir was turned into a Vaishnava by Srinivasacharya, and then his whole kingdom he turned into Vaishnavas. So that is a very good use of power. Same in Manipur. All these states were once upon a time were all Vaishnava states because the king became Vaishnava. Same happened before here when kings turned Buddhists, like Ashoka became Buddhist. Then he made practically the whole country as Buddhist. So that's how you can use your power in service of Krishna. If you have that power, you are devoted and you influence others. So in case of Veer Hambir, I think I was reading that it was compulsory for everybody to follow Ekadashi and also every day do japa, certain number of rounds. It was compulsory, and he will go and check. He had people going around checking, like a police. Yeah. So the effect you can see till now. If you go to Manipur or these places, you can still see the effect of, it's few hundred years which have passed.
Would the police check? They would come and ask.
How do they check now with this coronavirus? How are they checking? They can go around and see what you are doing. They don't have to come as a policeman. They can come in plain clothes and observe what people are doing. This morning time, are they sitting and gossiping?
Babaji, Haribol, this is Barbara Dasi. Babaji, you were talking in a few lessons ago, the example of Nimi Maharaj and how he became proud and commit Guru Aparada by cursing his Guru. And then you compared his reaction with the Parikshit Maharaj, how he reacted completely opposite, different. And then now we have the same example, a disciple that commit Guru Aparada because of pride. So what did they do wrong to arrive to this situation, to that position, to develop this pride, and then finally arrive to the aparada they committed?
So pride comes because of forgetfulness. When you forget that you actually belong to Krishna, your body also is not your permanent property. All the qualities which you have, they are not yours. And the closest thing you have is your body. Wealth is even external to body. But even this body is not yours, and it is not very dependable. So all the good qualities which you have, whether physical strength, beauty, intelligence, or other characteristics, they are not yours. They are only acquired or given to you by your good karma in the past or by the grace. So if you forget that and then you think that you can use them for your own enjoyment, then you get into trouble. So when Mahaprabhu says Tranadapi Sunichena, this is what he means, that if you remember this, then you remain humble. So just like if you work in a bank and you're dealing with money, so you remember that this money does not belong to me, but it belongs to bank. So you take care of it and you use it in the service of the bank. And then bank pays you so that you can maintain yourself. So similarly, if you keep that in mind, that this body or whatever else I have for which I feel proud is actually given to me, and it is meant only to serve, then I don't become proud. No matter how much people can praise you and glorify you, you remember that. So this is what Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. That therefore at all times remember me and fight, which means perform your duty. So you do your duty and remember Krishna. And remembering Krishna does not mean just Krishna, Krishna, but remembering that I'm just one insignificant person in his creation and I'm not independent. So when we forget that, then problems come.
I would like to understand better the significance of now the asuras coming to support Soma. Is it that we can see that, okay, he's overpowered by karma, so now all the kind of, bad forces also come to rationalize it to.
Yeah, that's what you do. When somebody wants to steal, then he will find all support from bad side or good side. That is why it is needed. Why I deserve this. I am strong. I mean, asuras are having that kind of nature. So your pride or another characteristics, you will find some reason to do that. And fighting with police or law, executing, law enforcing machinery. Okay? All right. Yes.
No, it's about that you say that nothing is new, nothing is all stored in the Gita. And it repeats also, from one yuga to another, and because so much time is passing, and that means that there is no somebody who is a real genius or somebody who is just by repetition somebody becomes expert in something, and then it's stored there, and then it comes again.
Yeah, so when it comes, then he's genius. What is wrong?
Because he did it already.
Yeah. Okay.
Bhavani Maharaj, it's little time, so should I ask next class?
Next class.